The identity trap, why your brain sabotages 80% success. You're 80% to a win, and suddenly you need to reorganize folders, deep clean the kitchen, or research better fonts. That urge isn't laziness. It's your safety governor kicking in to protect the familiar. You feel a spike of nerves, slide into micro-avoidance, then crash into an identity hangover later. Here's the fix: a 60-second safety anchor that lowers threat first and moves you one clean inch forward. Then I'll teach a 3-part protocol to pass finish lines without the crash. We'll map the safety governor, pull the 3 identity levers, design your environment, and set a 3-day starter plan. Quick win first. The thing most people miss is this: your nervous system chases the fastest relief available. At 80%, relief usually lives in escape, tab switching, just checking or polishing. We flip that by making relief come from motion, not avoidance. Here's the safety anchor. It's 4 moves done in 60 seconds that tell your system, we're safe, we're in control, and this counts. Move 1, exhale longer than you inhale. 1 or 2 rounds. Inhale through your nose for about 4, exhale through your mouth for about 6. Longer exhales engage your body's braking system, dropping threat just enough to start. Move 2, say, I choose to because. Give yourself autonomy and a reason. For example, I choose to write this summary because it makes sending the draft easy. Move 3, set a 60-second timer. External time prevents mental math and keeps this honest. Move 4, do the smallest visible finish-adjacent action. Not work on it. Something you can point at. Summary line only. Subject line only. Export a draft PDF. Paste 3 bullets. Shoes on, march in place. Then stop at the ding. Why it works? You lower threat first, then take a tiny, controllable action that's obviously near the finish. The anchor moves relief from avoidance to motion and proves starts are safe. When starts feel safe, finishes stop feeling like cliffs. Let me show you exactly how it sounds in the wild. Example, you've got a deadline draft at 80%. You feel that perfection shiver. On the anchor, exhale longer once. I choose to write 1 summary line because it makes feedback simple. Timer on, type, summary, this report shows Q3 revenue rose 7% with churn holding at 3.1%. Ding, stop, notice the relief. If you want 1 more minute, great. If not, you still win. Guardrails keep this trustworthy. Stop at the ding. If you always blow past it, your body learns starts are traps. Keeping the stop builds trust. Don't secretly upgrade to just finish. Micro-finishes stack, heroics backfire. Don't stack tasks mid-minute. 1 tiny move, clean boundary. Common mistakes. Judging speed, we count starts, not velocity. Hiding the action behind thinking. If it's not visible at the end of 60 seconds, it's too vague. Shrink it. Picking a start that's far from the finish. Make it finish adjacent so your brain feels proximity and lowers resistance. Quick wins across contexts. Writing, summary line, title placeholder, export to PDF. Email, write the subject only. Or hi name, 1-line update. Sales, paste the 3 bullet benefits you already wrote. Add why now, 1 sentence. Code, write a failing test name. Add a TODO comment and commit draft. Proposals, drop the 3 headings, paste the client's words into the opener. Fitness, shoes on, 60 seconds of wall push-ups or marching. Study, open the chapter. Write 1 key term and its 1-sentence definition. A micro story from last week. A client with a scary inbox backlog picked the single oldest email. Exhale. I choose to draft the subject because it gets momentum. Timer. Quick update on timeline. Ding. She stopped, felt lighter, and chose 1 more minute for hi Alex, short update below. 2 minutes, not a marathon. By Friday, the backlog was 80% lighter without a single long push. Starts, not sprints. Now, hear us where most people mess up. They try to use the anchor to brute force a finish. That breaks the trust. The anchor is a reset, not a sprint. You're teaching your nervous system that starts have boundaries. Respect the boundary, and your next start comes easier. If you remember nothing else, remember this pocket script. Exhale longer. I choose to because 60 seconds. Smallest visible move. Stop at the ding. Say it out loud, then do it. Try it with me right now. Pick your biggest 80% task. Exhale once, longer out than in. Whisper, I choose to because finishing clean helps future me. Timer for 60. What's the smallest finish-adjacent action? One summary line, one subject, one export, one heading, shoes on. Move, ding. Stop. Ask, do I want one more minute? Either answer is a win. That's your mini payoff. You just felt the loop flip. Fastest relief from motion, not escape. Next, we'll map the safety governor so this makes sense under pressure and build the protocol that lets you pass finish lines cleanly, day after day. The safety governor, your nervous system's speed limit. Now let's make that anchor make sense. Success can feel like a threat when it outpaces your identity. Your nervous system's main job is homeostasis, returning to a familiar baseline, a defended set point. When you surge toward a win, novelty gets tagged as unknown, and unknown gets flagged as risk. The amygdala isn't just fear, it's salience detection. Anything new, intense, or uncertain pings, pay attention. Big momentum, new visibility, higher stakes, salience spikes. If the spike rises too high, your system defaults to safety over success. Heart rate ticks up, attention narrows, and your brain hunts the fastest relief. Not the best, the fastest. That homeostatic set point explains identity lag. Your execution levels up faster than your self-concept. Actions say, I can deliver this, while your story still says, careful, this isn't me yet. The mismatch fuels the safety governor. When progress outruns identity, the governor taps brakes via micro-avoidance, polishing, over-researching, sudden errands. You feel busy, drift from the finish, and your body returns to baseline. This isn't moral, it's wiring. At 80%, stakes, visibility, and change feel close. Your brain forecasts exposure and future effort, so ambiguity feels expensive and it deflates the moment. The 4-beat pattern, surge, alarm, relief-seeking, return. Surge feels good. Alarm whispers, don't blow it. Relief-seeking nudges low-consequence actions. Return restores the old identity. Still me. Short-term calm. Long-term, the loop trains itself. Why does the 60-second safety anchor help? It gives the system what it wants, predictability and control, without bailing. Longer exhale equals safety signal. I choose to because equals autonomy. A tiny finish adjacent action equals competence. Stop at the ding equals trusted boundary. Those micro-doses loosen the governor. If you fit this with pressure, you amplify threat. The amygdala gets louder, attention collapses, and you chase escape. Willpower burns fast. That's why heroic push days crash and extend stalls. Don't outmuscle biology. Relocate relief into motion with micro wins your body believes. Finish adjacent starts feel close to done, drop uncertainty, and deliver fast, clean relief. Predictability beats intensity. If every start hides a marathon, your body resists the next start. Respecting the stop builds trust, lowers start cost, and compounds into clean finishes. Is your brain sabotaging success? No, it's protecting continuity. Change, even positive change, requires an identity update. Evidence updates identity, not slogans. Feed receipts, safe starts, tiny completions, clean stops. Quick litmus for a governor flare. Sudden urge to improve the setup, perfection before one tiny move, or a compulsion to promise a long session you can't afford. That's threat. Fix the state with the anchor, then count a micro finish. Once you see the governor, you've got options. Loosen it by stacking small wins across autonomy, competence, and safety, aligned with self-determination theory's autonomy, competence, relatedness, here delivered as safety signaling. One sentence to carry forward. In a threatened system, safety beats success. Create safety around starts and success follows. You don't need bigger willpower at 80%. You need smaller, safer moves your body will accept now. The anchor is the door. Next, the 4-beat sabotage loop and its interrupt points. The 4-beat sabotage loop. Once you spot the safety governor, the pattern is obvious. Surge, alarm, safety reset, return. Beat 1, surge. A win, praise, or momentum spikes energy. The finish line looks close. That contrast makes the next beat sharper. Beat 2, alarm. Novelty is tagged as risk, salience detection. Heart rate bumps, attention narrows, perfection thoughts, and check one thing, urges pop up. It's your system scanning for control. Beat 3, safety reset. Relief that looks productive. Reorganizing, polishing, extra research, tidy pivots. You exhale because you moved away from ambiguity. That exhale rewards avoidance. Beat 4, return. Identity restores baseline. You didn't ship, visibility didn't spike. Calmer now, identity hangover later. The loop just learned relief came from escape. Break it with one insight. The fastest relief wins. Move relief into motion. The 60-second safety anchor delivers a faster, cleaner sigh than a tab switch. Interrupt points. Surge set a boundary. One micro finish, then reassess. Alarm right arrow breath plus language. Longer exhale, right now, I choose to because. Safety reset right arrow micro finish. Finish adjacent action, so small it's silly to avoid. Return edge right arrow boundary again, stop at the ding. Want one more minute, counts either way. Example slide deck. Surge, outline clicks. Alarm, VP will see this. Safety reset, new templates, icon hunts, return, real work tomorrow. Fix, anchor inside alarm, exhale. I choose one ugly summary slide, timer. Title, 3 ways Q3 beat forecasts. Bullet, revenue plus 7%, churn 3.1%. Ding, stop. Clean relief, no detour. Sales follow up. Surge, great call. Alarm, push too soon, safety reset, tweak CRM, rebuild templates. Return, tidy pipeline, 0 emails. Flip it, one subject line or paste their exact phrasing, then stop. Relief from motion. If you remember nothing else, the loop seeks the fastest relief. Breath lowers the spike. Language restores autonomy. Micro finishes shift relief. Boundaries build trust. Chain them and the last mile becomes tiny, safe steps you can repeat. The 3 identity levers: autonomy, competence, safety, ACS. We loosen the safety governor by feeding 3 levers your nervous system trusts: autonomy, competence, safety. These align with self-determination theory: autonomy, competence, relatedness. Here, relatedness shows up as safety signals that calm the start. Autonomy first. I have to spikes resistance. I choose to because lowers it. Autonomy flips compliance to authorship. Use it before any micro finish. I choose to write one summary line because it makes feedback easy. Say it out loud to end the inner power struggle. Competence next. Most stalls are scope, not skill. The brain hates vague and unwinnable, so shrink the game until it's winnable in 60 seconds. Finish adjacent, concrete, obvious. One sentence beats work on the intro. Export draft beats clean the doc. Safety rounds it out. Predictable starts and trusted stops. Longer exhale to mark the start. Timer to bound the effort. Stop at the ding to prove you won't trap yourself. Predictable starts plus respected stops quiet the amygdala faster than pep talks. You're teaching your system that motion is safe and reversible. Stack the levers. Aim for a 60-second action that scores a point in all 3. Autonomy line, tiny competence win, safety container. The compound beats any single lever. Diagnostics, which lever is lowest? Feeling pushed right arrow autonomy low. Everything heavy right arrow competence low. Afraid of getting sucked in right arrow safety low. Respond accordingly. Across contexts. Work proposal at 80%. I choose to write one ugly summary, 1 sentence. 60 seconds. Stop. Sales follow-up. I choose to paste your exact words. Subject line only. 60 seconds. Stop. Code sticky bug. I choose to write a failing test name only. Commit TODO. Stop. Fitness. I choose to move for 60 seconds. March or wall push-ups. Stop. Want not should. Lever stacking over days is the cheat code. Some days need autonomy, others competence, loud days safety. Don't max any dial, nudge all 3. Common mistakes. Using autonomy as a loophole. I choose not to. Turning competence into planning, no visible artifact. Turning safety into avoidance, pre-deciding not to start isn't safety. Micro story, researcher at 85% stalled. Autonomy, I choose one so what? Sentence. Competence, one visible line. Safety, 60 seconds, stop. She wrote, this model explains the 12% variance the field can't account for. Ding, relief. One more minute for a reference. Finish became inevitable because the levers made the last mile safe. If you remember nothing else, pull autonomy to own the start, competence to win it, safety to trust it. Stack small wins, the governor relaxes when you're in control, the action is winnable, and the boundary is real. The Identity Fix Protocol, 3 steps. Here's the protocol that turns all of this into a repeatable finish habit. 3 steps: downshift threat, choice plus micro finish, trusted stop, then reassess. It's simple on purpose because complexity collapses under pressure. Let's run it clean, then I'll show you how it looks on real work. Step 1, downshift threat. Exhale longer than you inhale once or twice. Then name the fear in plain words without fusing with it. I'm having the thought this will expose me. I'm noticing my chest is tight. Normalize it. Nerves mean stakes. Stakes mean I care. That combo drops the spike just enough for choice to be possible. No pep talk. Just breath, label, normalize. Step 2, choice plus micro finish. Say the autonomy line out loud. Right now, I choose to because. Then run a 60-second safety anchor on a finish-adjacent action. 1 sentence, 1 subject, 1 export, 1 heading, 1 test name, shoes on. Keep it concrete and visible. The point is to convert the alarm into motion that your body believes. Tiny plus near the finish equals fast relief from action, not escape. Step 3, trusted stop plus reassess. Stop at the ding. That boundary is the trust builder. Ask, do I want 1 more minute? Want not should. If yes, stick 1 more minute. If no, close clean and mark the win. Either choice counts because the goal is state shift and trustworthy starts. You're proving you can move without trapping yourself, which is exactly what loosens the safety governor tomorrow. Why this works? Proof beats pep talks. Each round produces evidence that starts are safe, actions are winnable, and stops are respected. Evidence updates identity. Not slogans, not hype, receipts. The nervous system learns faster from the fastest relief. We just moved that relief into motion. Repeat that a few times and I'm someone who finishes cleanly, stops being aspirational, and starts being factual. Guardrails so this doesn't break under load. No secret marathons. If you decide to continue, it's 1 more minute, not an hour. Keep the boundary honest. No mid-minute upgrades. Don't reshape the task while the timer runs. 1 micro finish per minute. No progress shaming. We count starts in tiny completions. Velocity is optional. Let me show you exactly how this lands in common scenarios. Report example, you're at 82% on a Q3 analysis. Threat spikes. If this lands wrong, I'll look sloppy. Step 1, longer exhale twice. Label, I'm having the thought this will be judged. Normalize, stakes mean I care. Step 2, right now I choose to write 1 summary line because it unlocks feedback. Timer on. Summary, Q3 revenue plus 7%, churn 3.1%, CAC flat. Ding. Step 3, stop. Ask want. If yes, add 1 support stat. If no, close. Either way, you're back in motion with a lighter body and a smaller cliff. Client proposal. Threat sentence. What if they hate the angle? Step 1, exhale longer. Label, I'm noticing anticipation. Normalize, nerves show value. Step 2, I choose to paste the client's exact words into the opener because it grounds the draft. Timer, paste quote and add a single sentence that mirrors it. Ding. Step 3, stop. Reassess. You can always choose 1 more minute to drop headings next. Research paper. Threat. It's not ready for my advisor. Step 1, breath, label, normalize. Step 2, I choose 1 so what? Line because it clarifies contribution. Timer. This model explains variance the field hasn't accounted for. Ding. Step 3, stop. Want 1 more minute? Add 1 citation stub. Close clean. Sales follow-up. Threat, I'll push too soon. Step 1. Step 2, I choose to draft 1 subject because it keeps the thread warm. Timer. Next step on the integration timeline. Ding. Step 3, stop. If you choose another minute, paste 1 exact phrase the prospect used. That's it. Code, threat, this bug is a rabbit hole. Step 1. Step 2, I choose to write 1 failing test name because it defines the target. Timer. Write the test name and a TODO. Commit test, name failing case for X ding. Step 3, stop. Decide if you want 1 more minute to reproduce. Fitness, threat, I don't have 30 minutes. Step 1. Step 2, I choose to move for 60 seconds because tomorrow gets easier. Timer, march in place or wall push-ups. Ding. Step 3, stop. Want 1 more? Add a minute. If not, identity still banked, I start. Common mistakes to avoid in the wild. Turning step 1 into rumination. Label once and move. turning step 2 into planning. If there's nothing visible at the end, it wasn't a micro finish. Turning step 3 into self-judgment. The stop is the skill, protect it. Here's a quick micro story. A PM sat at 90% on a launch checklist and froze. We ran the protocol. Exhale and label. I'm noticing fear of shipping. Normalize choice. I choose to export the draft checklist because it unlocks internal review. Timer. Export to PDF. Ding. Stop. She chose 1 more minute to write the email subject only, launch checklist V9 for review. The team replied within the hour. 2 minutes unlocked the finish, because the protocol made the last mile safe. If you remember nothing else, remember this pocket line. Breathe, name, normalize. Choose, minute, micro finish. Ding, decide, done, 3 steps. Run it once. Then run it again tomorrow. Consistency beats intensity. Minimum viable momentum. MVM for finish lines. This is where we turn tiny wins into a finish system. Minimum viable momentum means the smallest repeatable action that keeps a project alive and drifting toward done, even on noisy days. Not perfect progress, survivable progress. When the safety governor tightens, MVM gives you movement without triggering alarms. Shift your target from perfect finishes to micro finishes. At 80%, the brain's cost calculator exaggerates the last step, so we make the last step smaller. A micro-finish is any visible step that advances the finish state without demanding a full push. Think summary line, export draft, subject line, send for internal review. These sit inside the finish halo. They're easy to start and they shrink ambiguity. Here's the last 2% toolkit I want you to memorize. Summary line. 1 sentence that states the outcome and key numbers. Export draft. Create a PDF and name it VX so it's reviewable. Subject line. Write the email subject only, park it. Internal review send. Attach the draft with quick eyes on X. Proof placeholder. TK. Insert chart so others can comment. 1 slide skeleton. Title plus 3 bullets. The 2-touch rule makes this stick. 2 ultra-small touches per day beat 1 heroic push you'll avoid. Why? Because 2 touches keep salience low and trust high. You get relief from motion twice, and you never flag your system with a trap. The compounding effect is real. 10 touches across a week beats a single 6-hour cliff you'll cancel. Chain safety is the secret. Many safe starts beat 1 dangerous sprint. Every time you stop cleanly at a ding, you tell your body, starts are safe. That drops tomorrow's start cost. A week of safe starts makes the finish feel inevitable because the cliff turned into a staircase. Let me show you a 5-day MVM ladder on a stuck report. Day 1, summary line only. Q3 revenue plus 7%, churn 3.1%, CAC flat. Stop. Second touch, export draft as Q3 report V3, PDF. Stop. Day 2, subject line only, Q3 summary for review. Stop. Second touch, paste 3 support bullets you already have. Stop. Day 3, internal review send. Quick eyes on headline and bullets. Stop. Second touch, add 1 figure label, not the figure. Stop. Day 4, drop 1 ugly chart placeholder and a TK note. Stop. Second touch, fix a single typo you noticed. Stop. Day 5, replace the placeholder with the final chart. Stop. Second touch, finalize the conclusion sentence. Done. Notice there's no marathon, no spike, no trap. Each move is finish adjacent and bounded. Review arrives midweek, which de-risks the angle early. You never had to psych up. You only had to do the next micro finish and respect the stop. A quick micro story. A founder avoided shipping a pricing page refresh. We built a 5-day ladder. Day 1, summary line, new tier clarifies usage. Day 2, export draft mock. Day 3, subject line for internal review. Day 4, paste 2 testimonial placeholders. Day 5, swap 1 placeholder for a real quote. He shipped on day 6 because the decision friction evaporated. MVM turned a cliff into a ramp. Now here's where most people mess up. They make a micro finish that's miles from the finish and wonder why it doesn't move anything. Clean the template isn't finish adjacent. Export draft V4 is. Another mistake is stacking too much inside a touch. If you can't see what changed in 60 seconds, it's too big. Shrink it until the artifact is obvious. Use these prompts to pick your MVM today. What's the smallest move that makes this easier to review? What's the line that, if written, clarifies the rest? What can I export, name, or attach so others can react? What placeholder lets me stop without losing context? A few context-specific kits. Writing, summary line, export PDF, next. Bold line at top, title placeholder. Email sales, subject line, paste exact client phrasing, forward draft to yourself with notes, schedule send. Product engineering, failing test name, TODO commit, tiny PR description, what this fixes, one line. Presentations, title slide plus 3 points, cue, export draft deck, 1 snapshot chart placeholder, 5-word takeaway slide. Study, key term plus 1 sentence definition, Anki card title, page marker, 1 margin note. Before you ask, yes, this still counts. MVM trades drama for reliability. The reason it works is it feeds autonomy, competence, and safety in tiny doses, your choice, a winnable action, a respected stop. It also locates relief into motion twice a day, which rewires the loop faster than a single heroic session. Run this today on your biggest 80% task. 2 touches only. First touch, pick a last 2% move. Second touch, another finish adjacent micro finish. Stop both times. Tomorrow, repeat. In 5 days, you'll feel the cliff disappear because momentum is now the default, not the exception. Once you nail MVM, we'll embed it into your environment design, so the next micro finish is always 1 tap away. Now we make momentum the default by paving 1-tap finish paths. Motivation is unreliable. Environment is faithful. Your job is to remove decisions and clicks between you and a micro finish. Start with the 1-tap rule. Any priority should open to the exact file or state in 1 click, not the app homepage, the doc, the slide, the repo, the email draft. Create direct shortcuts, bookmarks that jump to the specific document, not drive route, pin tabs that restore on launch, app launchers map to files, desktop aliases that open straight into edit mode. If it takes more than 1 tap to start, you're paying a friction tax every time. Pre-stage the next move so the start is obvious. At the top of your doc, leave a bold line. Next, 1 ugly summary sentence. In slides, park a title placeholder and 3 points cue. In code, add a failing test name and a TODO. In email, save a draft with only the subject line. Pre-staging primes your brain and collapses ambiguity. Tomorrow, you do think. You execute 1 tiny move that future you pre-approved. Name files for finish. Confusing names hide under stress. Use action first names that sort to the top. Start today Q3 report summary, or 0 next Q3 report V4. That prefix makes it the first thing your eyes land on. For drafts, export PDFs with VX so review is effortless. Q3 summary V3, PDF. You want reviewers reacting without asking you to send something viewable. Silence noise for anchors. Tie focus modes to the app you're anchoring in. Opening your report triggers a 60-second do not disturb. Slack hides, badge counts vanish. Full screen the task window. You're telling your nervous system, nothing else needs me for 1 minute. That lowers threat and makes the tiny start feel safe. Use physical anchors. Put a sticky on your monitor that reads, reset right arrow, choose right arrow, 60s right arrow, stop. Keep a kitchen timer within reach. Place your water bottle, headphones, and the dock shortcut in your anchor spot. Physical cues beat memory on loud days. Run a friction audit for your top 3 starts tomorrow. List the first 3 actions required to begin each. Remove 2 steps from each start. That might be saving logins, pinning tabs, building a launcher macro, or renaming files. Your goal isn't speed for its own sake, it's certainty. When the first move is obvious, the 60-second safety anchor fires cleanly. A quick micro story. A manager took 20 minutes to start her weekly report because she hunted templates and fought pings. We created a 1-tap doc that opened to the cursor on the first line and pinned a start script, TXT, beside it. I'm in a reset, just 60 seconds. Right now I'm going to. Start time dropped from 20 minutes to 2. Same brain, less friction. Treat launcher muscle memory like a cheat code. Map the same keyboard chord to open your primary project daily. Practice until your fingers move before your critic speaks. Motor memory beats mood. Make distractions invisible during resets. Put your phone in a drawer or in another room for the minute. If you must keep it near, face down and out of reach. Hide dock badges. Collapse sidebars. Your eyes should land only on the micro finish. Build one-tap behaviors on mobile too. Use widgets or shortcuts that jump to the exact note, dock, or task. Create a home screen page for last 2% only, the dock, the email draft, the slide deck. Remove social apps from that page entirely. When your thumb moves, it should land on a finish path. Pre-stage tomorrow in 60 seconds before you stop today. Write one bold next line. Export a draft PDF. Save a subject line. Set the failing test name. Place shoes by the door. Pre-staging is kindness to future you, and it converts tomorrow's start into a downhill roll. Here's a 5-point environment checklist you can run tonight. One-tap rule. Create 3 direct shortcuts to exact files. Friction audit. Remove 2 steps from each top start. Anchor spot. Pre-stage tools and place your reset sticky. Digital hygiene. Bind a 60-second focus mode to your work app. Pre-stage next. Leave one bold next line in tomorrow's doc. Watch file naming as a start tool. Under load, your brain won't parse cryptic titles. Use loud, action first names that shout the next move. Pair names with start scripts so language and environment align. Start here, right arrow, I choose to because, right arrow 60 seconds. Avoid the organization trap. Fancy dashboards aren't starts. If your system takes more than a minute to activate, it's too heavy. One doc, one shortcut, one script. You can dress it up later. Right now, you need starts. If you remember nothing else, remember this. The best environment removes permission slips and replaces them with invitations. One tap to open. One line telling you what to do. One timer proving you'll stop. Make finishing the path of least resistance, and your safety governor stops flinching. Accountability that calms, not pressures. Let's pair your one-tap paths with accountability that lowers threat instead of spiking it. The rule is simple: clarity over judgment. We're not chasing applause or performance. We're creating tiny, near-term promises that feel safe to keep. Start with a finish buddy. Not a coach, not a boss, a peer who's also running micro-finishes. The script is one sentence once or twice a day. Morning, today's micro-finish, summary line plus export V4. Evening, done, summary line plus export. That's it. No stories, no excuses, no critique. The point is visibility with boundaries. Share the next micro-finish, not your whole plan. Your body gets social proof without social threat. Use 48-hour micro-commitments. Pick one finish-adjacent action you'll do within 2 days and text it to your buddy. By Thursday noon, write subject Q3 summary for review. When the timer hits, send a 3-word check-in, sent subject line. The window is near-term and narrow, which keeps salience low and completion likely. If you miss it, run the 60-second safety anchor and send the smallest visible artifact. Recovery counts. Group cadence helps if you like shared rhythm. Run a weekly last 2% huddle with a 5-minute cap. Everyone posts one done micro-finish and one next micro-finish. No problem solving, no pylons. You're installing a ritual that rewards the behavior we want: small, safe finishes. Keep it time-boxed so nobody feels exposed or judged. Visibility with boundaries is the magic. You're not broadcasting ambition, you're confirming actions. If you ever feel pressure rising, shrink scope and tighten time. By 3 p.m., export draft V5. Or switch to the lightest update, a photo of your screen with the draft file name highlighted. Proof over prose. A quick micro story: 2 designers stalled on a pitch. They set a finish buddy loop. Morning texts were tiny and concrete. Title slide plus 3 bullets. Export draft deck to V2. Evenings were 2 words. Title done. V2 exported. In a week they shipped, and neither message exceeded a sentence. The safety was the switch. Common traps to avoid: don't let accountability drift into coaching unless it's requested. Advice spikes threat when you're already in the last mile. Don't stack promises. One micro-commitment per window wins more trust than a list you'll dodge. And don't let silence equal shame. If you miss a check-in, reply with the 60-second anchor result. Reset, subject line drafted. You just taught your nervous system and your buddy that recovery is expected. If you're worried about becoming annoying, set quiet hours and a channel. Use a shared note, a Slack thread, or a text label like L2%. Keep everything scannable. The shorter the update, the calmer it feels. Now give accountability a floor you can live with. The never miss twice rule applies here too. If you skip a day, send any 30-60-second reset that night. Floor, exported V3. The streak you protect is starts and safe stops, not heroics. For higher stakes work, add a calendar marker called micro-finish ping. It's a 1-minute appointment where you post a single artifact screenshot. The summary line, the exported PDF name, the subject line and draft. Screenshots reduce debate. You did it or you didn't, and either way, the next move is obvious. Tie accountability to your environment. Put your Finish Buddy thread on the same screen as your one-tap shortcut. Open Doc, run 60 seconds, snap the artifact, send 2 words. The flow becomes muscle memory. Open, move, show, stop. Language matters. Use neutral, boring lines that lower pressure. Today, 60s summary line. Done, summary line. Next, export V5. If someone replies with praise or critique, keep your boundary. Appreciate it, sticking to 1 micro today. You're protecting safety so the governor stays quiet. Identity benefit is the payoff. Reliable starts become who you are when other people see you do them. Not performative, just consistent. Over time, you won't need the ping as often because your body expects recovery, not punishment. Let's set your template right now. Copy this into a note titled L2%. Morning, today's micro. 1 finish adjacent action, 60s. Evening, done, artifact name. Missed, reset, smallest visible move. Weekly, done, 1 next 1. Pair it with 1 buddy and 1 5-minute weekly huddle. Keep everything finish adjacent, bounded, and boring on purpose. Calm accountability multiplies your safety anchor, your MVM, and your one-tap paths. Next, we'll tune your coach language so the voice in your head matches the system you just built. Coach language, replace perfection traps. Now we fix the voice in your head so it stops spiking threat and starts pointing you at tiny, winnable moves. The shift is simple: speak like a calm coach, not a critic. The critic talks in absolutes and verdicts, always, never, everything, nothing. The coach speaks in present tense and specifics. Right now, this sentence, 60 seconds. Critics add weight. Coaches remove friction. Here's the swap deck that drains pressure fast. Always, never, right arrow, right now. I always stall becomes right now, I'm opening the dock. Perfect, possible. It has to be perfect becomes what's a possible first line. Finish, right arrow, start. Finish the report becomes start with a 60-second summary. Read those out loud and notice your chest. The second version hands you a handle. That's the whole point of coach language. Give your nervous system an exit ramp from rumination to motion. Use this pocket script to glue your system together. Right now, breathe out longer. I'm choosing to because 60 seconds. What's the next sentence? Stop at the ding. It covers autonomy, competence, and safety in one pass, choice, winnable scope, trusted stop. Name fear without fusing with it. Say, I'm having the thought this will expose me, instead of this will expose me. Or, I'm noticing tightness in my chest. That tiny distance quiets the alarm enough to choose a move. You're not arguing, you're labeling and pivoting. 3 prompts cover most stalls. What's the next sentence? What's easy right now? What's 60 seconds invisible? If you hesitate, shrink again until the answer is obvious and finish adjacent. 1 subject line, 1 export, 1 ugly title. Keep it countable. On loud days, use the 3 thens ladder. Then breathe, then name it, then 1 minute. Sequencing beats spirals because it gives your mind rails. If your brain argues, reply, we're only deciding for 1 minute. Boundaries lower the spike. Practice reps matter. Say the script at known triggers. Calendar opens, inbox loads, slide deck appears, shoes go on. Mouth to ear is faster than thought to thought. Hearing yourself say, right now I choose 1 summary line, shortcuts the debate. Common perfection traps to swap. Catastrophe preview, if this isn't perfect, it's ruined. Coach, possible beats perfect, 1 messy line. Time distortion, this will take forever. Coach, 60 seconds, then decide. Identity smear, I'm not the kind of person who follows through. Coach, right now, start anyway. Let actions decide identity. Guardrail so coach language stays clean. Keep it flat and kind, not syrupy. Open the doc, beats, you got this. Keep it concrete. If you can't see the artifact, it's not coach language, it's a wish. Keep it brief. Under pressure, long speeches melt. One line, then move. Let me give you a micro story. A designer told herself, if this first slide isn't brilliant, the whole deck falls apart. We swapped to, right now, one terrible title. She breathed out longer, set 60 seconds, typed 3 ways Q3 beat forecasts, and stopped at the ding. The next line came easy. The shift wasn't inspiration. It was language lowering threat and handing her a visible move. If you feel resistance to talking out loud, keep it tiny. Whisper, right now, and attach one verb, open, paste, export, march. The verb forces motion. After the ding, whisper, want one more? That exact question protects autonomy and keeps the safety governor quiet. Build a coach cue in your environment. Top of your dock, reset right arrow, choose right arrow, 60s right arrow, stop. Add 3 prompts underneath. When your eyes land there, read the line and move. Don't debate the merit of the script. Scripts beat stress because they remove decisions at the worst moment. A quick test you can run today. Write 2 versions of your next task. Version A, finish the chapter. Version B, 60 seconds, 1 ugly summary line. Read both. If one breath gets easier on B, you just felt the nervous system accept the smaller door. Use that feeling as your green light. Before we continue, spot critic keywords. Always, never, everything, nothing, should, must, perfect. Why am I when you hear them? Immediately run the swap. Right now, what's next? Possible, 60 seconds. The swap is your off-ramp. Take it and move. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember this line. Clarity lowers threat, kindness lowers resistance. Say one clear, kind instruction out loud, then cache it with a 60-second, finish adjacent move. Stop at the ding. Want one more? Decide. That's coach language doing its job. Less story, more start. Relapse equals diagnostic data, not failure. Expect loops. When momentum rises, spikes show you're at a growth edge. That's not a warning to stop. It's data about where your safety governor still grabs the wheel. Treat relapse like a dashboard light, not a verdict. Here's the rule that keeps this clean: never miss twice. Missing once is normal. Missing twice starts a cascade. So we install a tiny recovery that stops the slide at 2. The moment you notice you slipped, scrolled, polished, reorganized, run this 3-step recovery. Note the trigger, run a 60-second anchor, remove 1 friction for tomorrow. That's it. Neutral, boring, effective. Step 1, note the trigger, keep it factual. Trigger, calendar ping. Thought, I'll blow this. Feeling, tight chest. Action, Instagram. 10 seconds, done. Labeling shrinks the unknown and saves energy for action. Don't diagnose your childhood. Just stamp the pattern so your brain sees it. Step 2, run the 60-second safety anchor. Exhale longer. I choose to because, timer. Smallest finish adjacent move. Stop at the ding, 1 visible inch. You're moving relief back into motion without pretending to reset the world. Step 3, remove 1 friction. Shortcut the exact file. Bold 1 next line. Pin the tab, rename the draft to start today project. 1 click deleted is 1 less excuse for tomorrow's start. The reason this works is twofold. First, you prevent negative reinforcement from cementing. If avoidance gets the last relief, your body learns escape again. If a tiny action gets the last relief, the loop stays flipped. Second, you protect identity. The win becomes I restart fast, not I never slip. That identity is durable under stress. Let me show you a live scenario. You promised a micro finish by noon and missed it. Old loop, guilt, vow to grind tonight, crash, delay tomorrow. Recovery loop, write TTFA on a sticky. Trigger, Slack ping, thought I'm behind, feeling, wired, action, rearranged folders. Run the anchor, I choose to write the subject because it keeps the thread warm, timer. Q3 summary for review, ding, stop. Friction removal, bookmark the exact doc to the browser bar. Tomorrow, the start is 1 tap. Slip patterns to expect. Perfection rebound after praise, overwork crash after a sprint, surprise visibility after a shout-out. All 3 are just salient spikes. Handle them with the same 3 moves. Label, anchor, delete 1 click. Build a weekly tweak so your system gets lighter every 7 days. 3 minutes, tops. Do 3 things. Remove 1 step from a top start, pre-stage 1 bold next line for Monday, add 1 coach line for a known trigger. That's compounding. 1 click saved per week is 50 clicks saved per year. Small now beats heroic later. Guardrails don't turn recovery into a report card. Keep language neutral. Worked, 2 resets. Friction, login prompt. Then act on friction, not feelings. Don't let the anchor become punishment. If you're fried, run 30 seconds and stop. The point is to salvage identity, not rack time, and don't chase a flawless streak. Protect the floor instead. 1 reset before bed, even 30 seconds, holds your start streak intact. A micro story. A founder's afternoons kept collapsing. We set a 2:15 alarm labeled recognize. Ping, TTFA on a sticky. Post-lunch slump, I'm already behind, heavy eyes, YouTube, anchor. I choose to drag 1 task to today because it clarifies focus. Timer. 1 drag, ding. Friction removal, pin the today view. Next day, same alarm, fewer clicks. 2 weeks later, afternoons held with 3-minute recoveries, not 4-hour rescues. If you feel resistant to labeling, cut it in half. Whisper the 4 words, trigger, thought, feeling, action, then move. If you resist the anchor, shrink the move again. Export draft, subject only, 1 heading, shoes on. The faster you can make an honest, visible win, the faster identity stabilizes. Here's your relapse pocket script. Note it, reset it, remove 1 click. Say it when you catch the slide, then execute in under 2 minutes. If your brain argues, answer with, we're only deciding for 1 minute. Boundaries beat bargaining. Remember, recovery speed is the metric, not never slipping. Count recoveries alongside starts. 5 starts and 2 fast recoveries this week tells a stronger story than 5 starts and 1 day of quiet spiral. Track them with tiny marks, R for resets, RR for recoveries. The visual proof matters when the critic shows up. If you remember nothing else here, remember this. Relapse isn't the problem, rehearsing it is. Catch it early, cache 1 minute, remove 1 click, and go. Evidence beats shame. Playbooks for 80% recovery beats traps. Regret. Tomorrow's start just got lighter. The protocol. Now let's put it on rails with quick playbooks for the most common 80% traps. Each playbook is finish adjacent, ACS friendly, and built for 60-second moves you can stack without spiking threat. Think of these like escape hatches for the safety governor. Under the hood, they lower salience, restore autonomy, and feed fast competence wins, self-determination theory's nutrients, which calms the homeostatic set point and closes identity lag with receipts. Long writing that feels endless why this stalls, ambiguity and perfection. Use the ugly summary ladder. Micro 1, summary line only. This piece shows X happened and why it matters. Micro 2, 1 supporting line that names the proof. Micro 3, export to PDF as draft V1 so review is easy. Micro 4, bold next, at the top with the next tiny move. Micro 5, 1 citation stub or TK note. Guardrail, never edit mid-minute. This is assemble first, refine later. Exporting early de-risks the angle. Edge cases and walkthrough. Edge case, my topic is fuzzy. Fix, write a possible summary. Preface with working claim to reduce threat from perfection. Identity lag hates uncertainty. A working label shrinks salience. Edge case, advisor is picky. Fix, export draft V1 quickly and request feedback on only the summary line. Microvisibility reduces pressure and accelerates behavioral activation. Walkthrough, set timer, exhale longer. I choose to write a working summary because it clarifies my next step. Type 1 line, ding, export V1, ding, stop. That's 2 artifacts in 2 minutes. Tomorrow will feel lighter because your nervous system saw proof. Big presentations with visibility pressure, use the 3-slide spine. Micro 1, title slide with a plain English promise, 3 ways Q3 beat forecasts. Micro 2, slide 2, 3 bullets ugly and short. Micro 3, slide 3, 5-word takeaway. Micro 4, export deck V1. Micro 5, subject line, draft deck for eyes. If you feel the design itch, park a single icon TK note. Don't hunt assets until the spine exists. Edge cases and walkthrough. Edge case, different audiences, VP plus team. Fix, duplicate deck V1 and change only the title slide promise to match each audience. Finish adjacent, low salience. No rebuild. Edge case, frozen by this must land. Fix, safety first, exhale longer, full screen slides, DND for 60 seconds. Then one slide only, respect the ding. Predictability reduces amygdala alarm. Walkthrough timer. I choose to draft the title slide because it lowers ambiguity. Type the plain English promise. Ding, export V1, subject, draft deck for eyes. Ding, you just created a reviewable artifact in under 3 minutes. Sales and client follow-up after a good call, use the mirror and move sequence. Micro 1, subject only, next step on project timeline. Micro 2, paste their exact phrasing from the call into the first sentence. Micro 3, one line why now, anchored to their words. Micro 4, save draft and schedule send for tomorrow morning. Micro 5, add one bullet if helpful we can, tied to a single next action. Guardrail, do not rebuild templates mid-minute. Capture their words, not your ideal prose. Edge cases and walkthrough. Edge case, they went quiet last time. Fix, keep scope microscopic, subject line plus one mirrored sentence. Salience stays low, safety governor doesn't flinch. Edge case, multiple stakeholders. Fix, create 2 drafts differing only in the opening mirror line. Paste each stakeholder's exact phrase. Autonomy stays high, identity stays calm. Walkthrough, exhale longer. I choose to paste their exact words because it keeps momentum. Subject, paste their phrase. Ding, schedule. The fastest relief from motion, rule is now working for you. Product or engineering, when tests are failing, use the red-green start. Micro 1, write a failing test name that states the behavior. Micro 2, add a TODO with the smallest repro step. Micro 3, commit test, name failing case for X. Micro 4, tiny PR description draft, fix X when Y. Micro 5, one log line or assertion that narrates the bug. If you're tempted to refactor, write a single comment, REFAC later, and return to the failing test. Edge cases and walkthrough. Edge case, legacy code terror. Fix, failing test name only plus TODO, that's competence without exposure. Avoid salience spikes by deferring refactors. Edge case, CI is slow. Fix, commit message first, visible proof, then TODO. Even if CI lags, your identity got evidence today. Walkthrough timer. I choose to name the failing test because it defines the target. Name test. Add TODO, commit, ding, you move the needle without inflating risk. Research and academic writing, use the so what backbone. Micro 1 so what sentence. This model explains the 12% variance unaccounted for. Micro 2, one claim evidence pair in telegraph style. Micro 3, insert a placeholder figure caption. Fig 1, baseline versus new model. Micro 4, export draft V1, PDF and drop into advisor folder. Micro 5, subject line, quick eyes on claim plus fig caption. Guardrail, citations can be TK stubs during microminutes. References are a separate ladder. Edge cases and walkthrough. Edge case, reviewer 2 trauma. Fix, label the fear, I'm having the thought they'll tear this apart. Then one claim evidence pair only. Behavioral activation beats rumination. Edge case, method section bloat. Fix, one figure caption placeholder first, it constrains the story. Captions reduce ambiguity and shrink identity lag. Walkthrough exhale. I choose one so what line because it anchors the paper. Type it, ding, export V1, subject line draft, ding, stop, you shipped a nucleus. Email and inbox overwhelm, use 5 and 1. Micro 1, sort by unread. Make 5 decisions only, reply, archive, snooze, star. Micro 2, draft one subject for the most important reply. Micro 3, pin that thread. Micro 4, paste one opening line you already know. Micro 5, schedule send. Do not open random threads mid-minute. Decisions first, writing later. Edge cases and walkthrough. Edge case, VIP emails induce freeze. Fix, 5 and 1 still applies. Decision equals star plus subject-only draft. The safety governor relaxes when you respect boundaries. Edge case, thread is emotionally charged. Fix, subject line plus act plus timeline sentence only. Schedule send for morning. Identity stays intact. You avoid late-night salience. Walkthrough timer. I choose 5 decisions because it clears fog. Click 5 decisions. Ding, new minute, draft 1 subject. Pin thread, ding, clear, boring, effective. Fitness when motivation is gone. Use shoes then move. Micro 1, shoes on. Micro 2, 60 seconds marching or wall push-ups. Micro 3, 1 sip of water and stretch 1 muscle group. Micro 4, log 1 line, 1 min moved. Micro 5, if you want 1 more minute, pick stairs or slow squats. Guardrail, don't convert a start into a guilt-fueled half hour. Keep the boundary, let want drive the +1. Edge cases and walkthrough. Edge case, intense DOMs. Fix, chair sit to stands for 60 seconds. Competence without threat. Edge case, travel day. Fix, airport wall push-ups or calf raises while waiting. Micro-identity travels, the safety governor learns starts are universal. Walkthrough, exhale. I choose to move for 1 minute because tomorrow will be easier. Timer on, march, ding, water sip. Log 1 line, stop, identity banked. Studying with dense material use, term test. Micro 1, write 1 key term and a 1-sentence definition. Micro 2, create 1 flashcard title only. Micro 3, mark the page with next, margin note. Micro 4, underline 1 sentence you'll paraphrase later. Micro 5, close at the ding. Guardrail, no highlight marathons. 1 term, 1 line, close. Edge cases and walkthrough. Edge case, abstract heavy papers. Fix, write the term and paraphrase only 1 clause from the abstract. Salience stays low, competence rises. Edge case, exam panic. Fix, exhale longer, name the panic, then term test with 1 card title only. Behavioral activation reduces threat faster than cramming. Walkthrough timer. I choose 1 term because it builds the stack. 1 term plus 1 line, ding, card title, ding, close, tomorrow gets easier. Proposals that keep ballooning, use the client words anchor. Micro 1, paste the client's exact sentence about the problem at the top. Micro 2, write a 1-sentence outcome promise beneath it. Micro 3, drop 3 section headings only. Micro 4, export V1 for internal review. Micro 5, subject, angle check, headings only. Edge cases and walkthrough. Edge case, scope creep mid-draft. Fix, paste the new request under a temporary heading, out of scope, for now. You preserve focus without losing context. Edge case, pricing anxiety. Fix, write the outcome promise first. Pricing becomes easier when the outcome is crisp, identity lag shrinks. Walkthrough, exhale. I choose to paste their words because it aligns the draft. Paste, outcome 1-liner, ding, export V1, subject, ding, you built a review magnet. Micro story, a PM sat at 85% on a roadmap. She ran this, title slide, 3 bullets, 5-word takeaway, export, subject line. 5 minutes across a day, no marathons. The VP replied, perfect, ship it. The win wasn't brilliance. It was safe micro finishes parked under review. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Pick the playbook that makes a reviewable artifact fastest. Summary line, export, subject, test name, title slide. Finish adjacent beats fancy every time. Run 1 micro now, stop at the ding, and the last mile stops being a cliff. Daily and weekly rhythm, momentum metrics. Now we turn all of this into a rhythm you can actually live with. We'll measure starts, not hours, so momentum becomes visible and repeatable even on messy days. This aligns with behavioral activation. Small actions first, motivation follows. It also calms the safety governor because the salience of finish everything is replaced by the predictability of start 1 minute. Measure starts with 5 tiny boxes per day, R1, R5. Each checked box equals 1 60-second reset you ran, whether you continued or stopped. That's it. No time math, no guilt. You're rewarding the lever you control under threat, the first minute. Put the boxes where you can't miss them. Top of your notebook, a sticky on your laptop, or the first tile in your Notes app. Add lightweight categories to spot avoidance without shaming. Next to each check, jot 1 initial. W for writing, E for email, F for fitness, S for study, A for admin. At a glance, you'll see where your starts cluster. If you see 8 E's and 0 W's, you've learned something useful. Tomorrow needs 1 W box, nothing dramatic. Give yourself a floor. 1 30-60-second reset before bed keeps the streak alive. Call it the floor rule. If 9:30 p.m. hits and you've got no boxes, run a micro finish on anything. Export a draft, type 1 subject, do wall push-ups for a minute. Check 1 box and close the day. You're protecting identity. I start, even when it's late. Plant 2 recognize plus reset reminders at your known slump times. Morning start and post-lunch are common. When it pings, don't think, run the micro chain, trigger, thought, feeling, action labeled in 10 seconds, then a 60-second safety anchor, then stop. Scripts beat stress because they remove decisions when you have the least bandwidth. End your day with a 1-minute micro review. 3 lines, neutral voice, worked, friction next, worked, R1 subject line, R2 export V3. Friction, doc buried, made shortcut. Next, bold next, summary at top. You're extracting signal, not scoring yourself. Run a weekly 3-minute momentum review. Ask 3 questions. How many start checks this week? Which day had the fewest and why? Friction, energy, or clarity? What 1 friction will I remove and what 1 next line will I pre-stage? Then act immediately, create 1 shortcut, write 1 bold next line and move on. No dashboards, no ceremonies. Function over flair. Build a tiny evidence bank so your nervous system sees receipts. 1 sentence per day in a tiny wins note, 9/12 summary line shipped. On rough days, read the last 7. It's hard for shame to argue with concrete artifacts. Keep your tracker feather light. If it takes more than 30 seconds to update, it's too heavy. 5 boxes, 1 letter, a single daily line. Complexity looks productive and quietly becomes friction. Strip it down so it survives your loudest days. When start stall, tune the system, not your willpower. Lower the bar, drop to 30 seconds, shrink to subject only or export only, or remove 1 more click from the start path. Your metric is a diagnostic, not a judgment. If 2 days pass with 0 checks, that's your cue to lighten scope and reduce friction right now. Tie the metrics to your environment and accountability. Put your 5 boxes on the same card as your 1-tap shortcut and your buddy thread. Open doc, run 60 seconds, snap a proof if wanted, check a box. 1 flow, 3 levers, environment, action, visibility. Expect uneven weeks. Travel, meetings, family chaos, they'll bend the schedule. The metric bends with them. On heavy days, protect the floor and a single W or F box. On lighter days, you might check 3 boxes across 2 categories. Either way, you're practicing the identity that carries you. I start, I stop cleanly, I restart fast. Watch for 2 subtle wins. First, start cost drops. A week of boxes makes the first minute feel smaller. Second, fear of relapse fades. When your tracker shows rapid recoveries, your body trusts you'll reset, so threat spikes soften. Now, let's make this concrete with real-world walkthroughs and edge cases. Daily walkthrough office day, lots of pings. 8:45 a.m. recognize plus reset ping. Label TTFA. Trigger, calendar thought I'm already behind. Feeling, restless, action slack. Anchor, exhale longer. I choose to write 1 summary line, timer type ding. Check R1 W. 10:30 a.m. between meetings. 1 minute. Export V5. Ding. Check R2 W. Safety governor stays calm because starts feel reversible. 1:30 p.m. post-lunch slump. Ping fires. Label. Anchor on inbox 5 and 1. Ding. Check R3E. 4:10 p.m. tiny fitness. Shoes on wall push-ups. Ding. Check R4F. 9:10 p.m. floor rule. Subject line for tomorrow's follow-up. Ding. Check R5E. Micro review worked friction next. Tiny wins entry. Lights out. Edge cases and fixes. Edge case, back-to-back meetings all day. Fix, treat hallway transitions as 60-second windows. 1 artifact per window, subject, export, title, placeholder. The metric counts state shifts, not sessions. Edge case, kids' bedtime derails evenings. Fix, move the floor rule earlier, e.g. 6:15 p.m. Identity protected before the chaos. The homeostatic set point stays soothed. Edge case, creative work needs longer blocks. Fix, Use 2 micro starts, R1 and R2, to pave a 25-minute sprint later. Salience drops after 2 safe starts, then run the longer block. Weekly walkthrough light, honest. Friday 3:55 p.m. weekly 3-minute review. Starts 14 checks W, 5E, 4F, 3A2. Lowest day, Wednesday 2 checks. Y, friction, login loop on report. 1 friction to remove. Save login plus create a 1-tap shortcut to report. 1 next to pre-stage, bold next, add churn chart at top. Action now, build shortcut 30 seconds, write next line 10 seconds. Done. Identity note, I recover fast. That line matters because it reduces identity lag, the story catches up to the actions. Advanced nudges, optional. Category minimums, pick a weekly floor, e.g., at least 3W and 2F. Helps prevent avoidance clusters without pressure. Start streak versus output streak, only streak starts, never streak outcomes. The safety governor hates output streaks, they spike salience. 2 touch day, on overloaded days, hold just 2 checks across any categories. Keeps behavioral activation alive. Common metric traps and swaps. Trap, I cheated, it was only 30 seconds. Swap, the protocol is designed for 30-60 seconds. You played by the rules, check the box. Trap, I did a lot but forgot to check. Swap, check retroactively within 24 hours if you can name the artifact. We're tracking identity evidence, not bureaucracy. Trap, the boxes stress me out. Swap, reduce to 3 boxes, R1, R3 for a week. Lower salience, restore calm. 2 conversational examples. Example 1, manager. I used to end days with 18 open loops. Now I end with 2 checked boxes and a tiny win. The loops are still there, but my body isn't screaming. Starts are safe. Example 2, grad student. I stopped trying to feel ready. I did R1, so what line, and R2, figure caption daily. By Friday, my advisor had a draft. The week felt quiet. Here's your tonight's setup. Draw 5 boxes labeled R1, R5. Pick 2 slump reminders labeled recognize plus reset. Write 1 bold next line in tomorrow's doc. Create 1 direct shortcut to the exact file. Start a tiny wins note and add today's sentence. Tomorrow morning, check 1 box in the first hour. Evening, run the floor if needed. This rhythm installs compounding momentum without marathons. You're not chasing perfect days, your stacking starts that finish. 3-day starter plan, practice plus proof. Let's lock this in with a 3-day plan you can actually finish. 0 drama, just practice and proof. Day 1 is a single target. Pick 1 80% task, the one that keeps whispering at you, and run 1 safety anchor. Before you touch anything, breathe out longer once. Label the tension in a plain sentence. Then say, right now I choose to because, and do 1 finish adjacent move for 60 seconds. Summary line only. Subject line only. Export draft only. Ding. Stop. Now pre-stage tomorrow, at the top of the doc, write a bold next line like, next, 1 support stat, or save the email draft with just the subject. Evidence bank, add 1 sentence to a tiny wins note, time stamp plus artifact name. Your brain trusts receipts, not pep talks. Day 2 adds environment and repetition. Start by deleting 2 clicks from the same task start path. Create a direct shortcut to the exact file. Pin the tab, rename it with an action first title, start today project summary, then run 2 separate 60-second anchors at different points in your day. Morning, the next micro finish. Afternoon, another finish adjacent move. Stop at the ding both times. If your body argues, answer with, we're only deciding for 1 minute. Pre-stage again, bold 1 next line. Add 2 lines to tiny wins. You're teaching your nervous system that starts are safe and repeatable. Day 3 adds light accountability and a clear boundary. Send 1 sentence to a finish buddy or a private L2% thread. Today's micro. Export V5 by 3 p.m., run 1 60-second anchor on the same task. Stop at the ding. Snap a quick proof if helpful, file name, subject, or the summary line and post 2 words. Export done. Then close your loop with 1 friction removal for tomorrow. Pin the view, save a draft, drop a placeholder TK where you'll continue. Add 1 line to tiny wins. That's 3 straight days of proof. Guardrails keep this honest. Don't secretly escalate. If you choose to continue, it's one more minute, not a marathon. Don't upgrade mid-minute, one artifact per minute. Don't score yourself, count starts and visible micro-finishes. What if a day goes sideways? Use the floor rule. Before bed, run a 30-60-second anchor on anything. Export a draft, type one subject, do wall push-ups. Check one box and write a one-line review. Worked, reset on subject, friction, doc buried, next, shortcut. Common snags and fixes. Snag, I still don't feel ready. Fix, speak the autonomy line first, then move for a minute. Readiness follows action. Snag, scope keeps inflating. Fix, shrink until you can see the artifact. If it isn't countable, it's too big. Snag, I'm scared I'll get sucked in. Fix, schedule the ding aloud and stop on time. Safety beats force. Here's a quick run through you can copy right now. Day 1, right now I choose to write one summary line because it unlocks feedback. Timer. Q3 revenue plus 7%, churn 3.1%. Ding, bold next, add CAC. Tiny wins, 10-14 summary line. Day 2, shortcut, start today Q3 summary. Morning, add CAC number. Ding, afternoon, export V5. Ding, bold next, subject line. Tiny wins, 942 CAC, 310 export V5. Day 3, buddy text. Today's micro, subject by 3, timer. Q3 summary for review. Ding, post, subject done, remove friction, pin review folder. Tiny wins, 256 subject line. By the end of day 3, your body has learned 3 things. You start without punishment, you stop on time, and you produce tiny artifacts that invite finish. That flips the fastest relief into motion, which is the whole game. Open loop for you. In the next video, we'll scale this into clean 25-minute sprints that keep the governor calm. Same safety signals, bigger blocks, and zero crash. The takeaway, your safety governor isn't laziness. It's protectiveness that relaxes when starts are safe, actions are winnable, and stops are trusted. Run one 60-second safety anchor on your biggest 80% task today, then subscribe and watch my deep work sprint video to stack clean 25-minute blocks. End this video, open your one-tap file, say, I choose to because, move for a minute, and